Hello, hi, and welcome. I'm Bunny. It's so wonderful to be here with you today. Before we jump into the video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below to tell me how your day is going. Now let's game on. So today, I am back again with another speed build, though I am hoping to make something new for next week. Today, I wanted to try something new with audio recording and editing though. I wanted to try to fill up more airtime with speaking rather than music. So this cottage is sort of my homage to fairy tales, and I wanted it to be very cozy and reminiscent of the stories I was told as a kid. I used to love story time, and I spent a lot of my childhood wanting desperately to be a fairy, as did my partner, so I wanted to make the ideal cottagecore fairy house. Truth be told, some of this is sort of like a dream house for my partner. Usually, I prefer a more modern architecture. I have always loved beautiful fairy tale cottages though. It's just, cleaning one would be a nightmare. This place is beautiful, but imagine all the dust. I hate dust. I will be fully truthful as well. It took several iterations to get here. I made a lot of them off screen so that you wouldn't see me futz with all the options. The Castle Estate kit had just come out when I first built this cottage, and I really wanted to use the beautiful moss wall and stained glass windows to make this feel even more fairy tale-esque. On top of the moss, I used the wisteria from Cottage Living. Wisteria really reminds me of Cinderella for some reason. I think part of the reason this build reminds me of Cinderella is because of how I listened to the washing song on loop while building. The one where she sings Sweet Nightingale. It's so pretty and so simple. I love the sound of it. There's 2 bedrooms and 1 full bathroom in this house. There are 2 half baths to supplement the need for toilets and sinks as well. And the kitchen is the best one I've made according to my partner. I loved hearing her feedback during all of this. I'm also really happy that I made her happy with this overall build, because her approval means the world to me. Her love for this build is literally what kept me going when I thought I would give up on it and do something more within my wheelhouse. She saw that I was building in Henford-on-Bagley, which is her favorite world, and begged me to keep going. It was incessant, but worth it. She grew up in a very small, wee hamlet of a town that was surrounded by woods, very much like how this lot is, and she said that in the best way, it reminds her of home. You can convert the downstairs office, which I used the Crystal Creations stuff pack in. It had also just come out. I built a castle before this, and hopefully that will come out soon as well. But you can convert the downstairs office into a nursery or extra bedroom if needed, and there's technically some space to expand on the side if you need more rooms and less yard. The front door is deceptively tucked into the side so you don't see it when you're facing the house head on. The yard is actually to the side so that I could have room for a lot of landscaping, which I'm not the most comfortable with, or have the most confidence in doing, like ever. But I was really actually feeling the landscaping with this build. I think it helped that I lined all the fencing with wisteria. When it comes to the kitchen, I actually have a lot to say, because it wasn't easy. And in fact, the kitchen taking so long is why I cut the footage of the bathrooms, because I felt like the kitchen was a little bit more important. When I build, I usually start by picking one room to furnish via a wheel on my phone, and then that room determines the style of the entire rest of the inside of the house. And then I kind of jump around to feel out all what should be placed down. The kitchen being up first, and with the kitchen being the heart of the home, I knew I had to get it right. I wanted something cozy, with a small fireplace and a lot of plants. I wanted herbs and spices hanging about, ready to be used immediately. And a garden where those herbs and spices were probably grown off of a secret back porch. I tried relentlessly to get this one corner cabinet to work, but it never did. I love that corner cabinet. It has a hanging plant in it. It's very pretty. And I knew I wanted this one wall decoration for movie hangout stuff. It's a small shelf with 3 hanging open-faced terrariums with what looks like little peppers growing in them. I love that wall hanging. It feels so natural and nice. Yes, I grow my own peppers that I cook with over my sink for ease of access. It's such a nice thought that for a while after I first got The Sims, and especially Movie Hangout, I was very upset that there weren't more environment interactive animations, like if you have dried herbs bundled on the wall, or little pepper plants hanging by the window. I feel like your Sims should be able to reach for them and pretend to pick them during cooking. But The Sims just doesn't have this detail, and it historically never has through the series, actually. And I don't think that's a bad thing now. Though I would love to see such a thing added. I think a lot of people forget the level of detail The Sims 4 does have in favor of being very critical, and believe me, I have my gripes. But The Sims 4 has a lot of playable details. Like, for example, the secret worlds, which are beautiful, fun, rich in resource areas. There's also the fact that the base game has 3 whole worlds to pick from, and they're all free now, and they are all different wonderful flavors. You can literally make Newcrest into whatever you want. I love that so much that actually, a long time ago on my old EA account, I once made the entirety of Newcrest into nothing but traditional Roman villas, because I could, and it looked great. And while The Sims in those worlds have bios that don't fully match the stories we see in-game, cough cough, the land grabs, cough cough, Johnny Zest, cough cough. The environments are so nice. Not the houses. I want to renovate the base game so bad. But the environments around them, like, I swear I have been to Willow Creek, and I have. It's based off of Louisiana. And I've driven through Louisiana a good few times and even took several rests there during those drives. It's beautiful. I love the things I've seen in Louisiana that are in Willow Creek. Other worlds in The Sims are also really nice when it comes to environments and around the lots. Some are way too big and empty, like Eco Lifestyle, but Island Living, which I'm playing in my spare time right now, is literally perfect for background environmental details. The explorable cave, the waterfall you can bathe in if you're off the grid, that one little island with its solitary lot next to the big island with the volcano and the shipwreck lot. The shipwreck lot? That may not be the best made EA lot, but it tells a story. Look at how far inland that boat is. That tells me the tectonic movement has pushed this island up because the high tide no longer covers this fishing trawler that crash landed here. It doesn't even cover it a little bit, and the island rose up around the ship, consuming it in a way. That is rad. Plus the community center where islanders gather frequently for fun. They're involved in each other's lives and having a good time, and I am here for that kind of detail about Sims worlds. It's why I love Snowy Escape too, which I also play pretty frequently. And the community festivals and rich environment of these two worlds is perfection. I also love the little details around Forgotten Hollow. They are so cute and kind of eerie. I mean, they're supposed to be eerie, but they're very cute because it really paints how lonely Vlad is. He's desperate for company to the point that he will leave his world and try to come recruit you to the vampire brood. It's hilarious, it's funny, and it's also really sad when you look at the actual details of it. There's also Discover University. I play that pack so much, and it is entirely because of how well thought out the environments are. The school buildings for Brightchester are beautiful architecture, yes, but you can also very clearly see the school rivalry going on around town too. And the way that students vandalize each other's statues in their main yards, that is so funny. It is a great detail. I love seeing how the mascots can come and try to hype up their own school at different school events, and it never works out well Because if it's the Larry Lobster at the Brightchester School trying to hype up Foxbury events, all the Brightchester students will sit there booing Larry Lobster out of the area. Or whenever the dragon, I forget his name, but whenever he goes to Foxbury, he is immediately just frowned and booed out of the area. It's funny. These Sims are hilarious. They have wonderful interactions with each other, and it is so cute to watch them in their over-animated little expressions just sit there and go, "Boo, we don't like you." It's also one of the reasons I really love high school years, because even though there's no school rivalry events like in Discover University, high school years has some of the funnest gameplay loops for me. It's not for everyone, I know that, but the gameplay loop is really simple and easy, and you can actually really enjoy it. I love getting to decorate my locker on the first day every single time. I never not go for the kawaii decorations just to see it at first, even if it doesn't match my sim, because the kawaii decorations are adorable, and I love them to pieces. There's also cats and dogs. The world detailing for cats and dogs. Cats and dogs has my favorite lots to play on. Admittedly, I do end up kicking Brent and Brant out, the Heckings. I just move them across the street. I don't want to get rid of them. I love them to pieces. At the same time, they're on my favorite lot, and The Sims does this a lot too, where they will put all the big lots as occupied and not let you have them. It's really difficult to deal with sometimes, because sometimes I want the bigger lot because I want to have a farming sim and room for, all the farm stuff. And sometimes I just want a bigger house. And EA said no, and I said no in return. There's so many beautiful little details in the alleyways and small passageways around Brindleton Bay. It's fantastic. You can see where all the little stray animals like to go and hide and dig at things, and you can see how everyone in the world really interacts with them. I remember seeing Bella Goth walk a dog down the beach for the first time, and it was fantastic. And she was great. She was in her winter fit after the EA makeover for the Goths. And first of all, she was stunning. Second of all, her dog was the most hilarious, yippy-looking, gangly-legged little dog I've ever seen. He was just bouncing along and having a good time. I don't know if the dog was a he. His name was Sprinkle. I love Sprinkle. Moving on from Sprinkle, another world, or rather pack, in The Sims 4 that I feel was incredibly well put together is Get Together. Clubs and social events for your Sims make the world of difference for gameplay. With clubs, you can do anything. For like a 100 baby challenge, you can make a club that is specifically just for finding baby daddies easier. That is the worst thing to say, but it's true. Or if you want to have family reunions with many generations of Sims, it's fantastic. You can make after-school clubs yourself. You don't need to sit here and bother EA for a dance club for after school. You can just make one. It's great because Get Together gives you this power, and on top of that, I find the nightclubs extremely interesting. I grew up in an environment where bartenders were not uncommon, as my mom was friends with a few of them, and they were very cool people and shockingly good with kids. As a child, I didn't know they were bartenders. As an adult, not only am I very familiar with the profession, I know what a nightclub looks like now. And The Sims 4 take on nightclubs is fun, and it's very much everything I hoped nightclubs would be as a kid. It's so much cleaner than they actually are. I love that. It is a beautiful detail. It is a fantasy made very much into a simulacrum of reality. I'm pretty sure I said that word wrong, but I know that word. It means the fantasy of life in the best way. Get Together also has some of the most beautiful lots. Not the EA build version, but in terms of like when you get on the lot and look around, it's stunning. And the background buildings are so beautiful. It very much is a little town in Europe that I would love to go see one day. I don't think I'm going to get to, but it also reminds me of Howl's Moving Castle, and I love Howl's Moving Castle more than anything. That style of wallpaper, if it came in pastel, would just be literal perfection. I love it so much. There's also the fact that the Sims 4 base game didn't come with pools like all previous Sims games. I firmly believe, along with many other Simmers, that The Sims 4 was maybe released when it wasn't fully completed. And that's honestly not a bad thing. It means that you can get in a lot of feedback from your target audience, essentially, really early on, and just release things as you go. I don't think The Sims 4 should have been priced at $60 when it came out, but that's what we got. I didn't pay for it. I got it during a free weekend, as did many of my friends. However, pools coming with Get Together meant that the Sims team could really focus on how to make them the best playable experience, and Get Together gives you a lot of options for pools. I do wish they had given you floaties and maybe hot tubs at the same time that you got regular pools, but we just didn't, and we do have to live with that. However, we do have a free hot tub in the base game, which is fantastic, and the new hot tub in For Rent, which is actually really pretty. I love that hot tub. But in Get Together, we have water details like the different types of water that you can put in your pool, the mucky water, the sparkly water, the beautiful moss water. I almost put a pool in here, or a pond on this lot, just so that I could use the moss one. And I know that the moss water is technically base game. However, we wouldn't have those water details without Get Together and the work they did to integrate pools into the base game because of Get Together. Anyways, as you can see, I have a lot of feelings about The Sims. I love this game so very much, and I've been here during all the parts of development. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the really ugly. Cough cough, eco lifestyle. But this game has improved so much over the years. Honestly, I'm thrilled to see where it goes from here, and its sequel. And with that, I think it's time to start wrapping up. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Tell me down below what else you'd like to see me do in the future. Remember that I upload every Saturday, given that life permits it. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!